We are live. SpaceX is officially live on the stock market. It has shot up. It's up around, 25-30% so far in today's trading day. It went up to about $175. It's at $170 right now. It did dip down a little bit in that $169 range. I'm definitely not touching SpaceX with a 10-foot pole. It did drop a little bit down to like the 150s after the initial. It opened up at $135, shot up, sold off, and that's been, consistently going up the rest of the trading day. The valuation is out of control, in my opinion. We shall see. For a ridiculously high valuation, they only brought in $19 billion in revenue last year, still losing money. I am a buyer of SpaceX probably under $100 per share. I don't necessarily think this is a good time to buy in. Stock's up 26%. We're going to go over all my trades this week, where we were successful, some things we have to roll. Our portfolio is $189,000, up 120% over the last 2 years. All right, let's get cooking with gas, everybody. Here we go. These are all my positions right now. I did add some Adobe on the dip this morning. It was around $200 per share. I'm adding to this position. I am down 20%, but I'm nibbling shares away. It's a small percentage of my portfolio, only 1.5%. But there we are. Chewy's been getting banged up too. I did buy some shares today in the $18 range. It has jumped up back over $19 per share. One of my not great positions, that's for sure. CleanSpark bounced up. I do have five $16 puts. We're up $143 on those. Keep an eye on that as the trading day goes out. We have one $16 call, one $16.50 call for CleanSpark, trading around, $16.30, something like that. So what I'm going to do right now, I don't want to have these shares taken away, so I will roll this out. We're going to go out a couple weeks from now. We'll go $6.26. $17.50. We can go $18. Yeah, $18 makes some sense here. Give it some time to run a little bit. There we go. And that is rolled. Make sure it went through. And that filled. So we're not going to have to give up our shares there for that one CleanSpark call. I always like to check in the money. What's in the money right now? I have a $27 HIMS put. I'm up 43%. I don't necessarily want to buy these HIMS shares at $27 per share. I am rebuilding back up my HIMS position. I did sell out a while ago at 74 shares right now. I want to get a couple more 100 shares of HIMS over the next several months. But we do have a $25.50 and a $25 put as well this week. They will clean up and make us around $100 in those two. And then with the $27 put, we're at $25. So HIMS is trading right around $27. So I'm probably going to let this cook for the rest of the day. We have a few hours until the trading day is up. I did sell some Robinhood shares today. I sold 12 shares. I sold about 20 last week. I think this could dip back into the 80s and maybe even touch the 70s again. So it was up 40% in a couple weeks, so I'm taking some profits there. There's our 6,500 shares of SoFi stock for everyone that wants to see the SoFi position. I appreciate you guys all tuning in to this live stream today. We are going to go over everything that's happening in the market right now. I do think Amazon and AMZN and Microsoft are both looking pretty juicy at these levels. They've both been selling off over the last several months. So it was up to 277 per share in the last, month or two. It's been selling off. I would love to get it back under 200 bucks per share. That would be the time to buy Amazon, in my opinion. I do think this is a, $350 to $400 stock in the next couple of years. Microsoft, kind of same bag. We are in the low over the last 6 months, 361. We're approaching that. Year to date, the low, 356. I would love to get it back in that range, but we've seen a sharp sell-off since, June 1st. It's been getting crushed over the last month. Just ripping. Over the last 5 days, down 7%. Over the last month, the high was 465. 75 bucks a share off of that. Pretty nice discount there for Microsoft. I think that's a solid position to get into sooner rather than later. Going from 465 to 386 right now, almost 100 bucks off per share. You're talking 20-ish%. I do think that's a solid buy range there. We'll take a look at our watch list right now and see what's cooking. What's going on with all these different stocks today. We're going to go over the day change. Momentous MNTS down 26%, obliterated. I do like Redwire. They're like a pick and shovel play for SPACEX. I do think this is an interesting buy long term. Rocket Labs down 8%. Super Microcomputers down 4%. Apple's down 1.5%. I'm going to add AMZN, add these to my watch list because I'm not sure if I have them in there or not. But then we'll go to the flip side. We'll see what's going on. SpaceX up 27%. If you bought at 135, you bought the IPO. It's a nice little rip. Take some profits. I do think selling is going to happen sooner rather than later. I do think people are going to hold on to their shares a little bit, see the rip, and then dip out. I do think that's what's going to happen. Cipher Digital up 10%. ARM up 10%. CoreWeave up 9%. Intel cooking with gas, going from 18 bucks to 132. What a run Intel has been on. Crazy. IREN up 7%. Applied Digital up 6%. Pretty good day. Another stock I really like is American Express. I think it's a great opportunity to buy this, like one of the better companies in the world at a significant discount. Down 12% year to date. Over the last year, up 8%. Over the last year, topped out at around 385. Getting it at 324 is a nice little discount. Take a look at the metrics. Forward PE at $18.07. Price to earnings is at 19.88. So this PE ratio is the last 12 months. This is the forward PE. So the PEG ratio at 1.35. These are all great metrics to buy this company at. If it gets around under 300 bucks per share, I'm definitely a buyer of American Express, guys, for sure. I think that's a great opportunity for us to cash in on some really big names that are, profit machines. Amazon, Microsoft, American Express. I think all these companies are trading at a little bit of a discount for us right now. And we'll take a look at some of our positions this week. We had a 30-50 call on Celsius. We're going to win that trade. Chewy $24 call. Chewy $23.50 call. We're winning all of these significantly. You got to love that. Clean Spark cleaning up pretty good on the puts and the calls, doing some straddles. I do love these $5 $16 puts. I do want to keep a close eye on this. Make sure we don't get down to like 16, 15. That's kind of where I'll buy it back at if we touch that point at some point in the trading day. I do want to let that run. That trade's going to net us 140 bucks this week. I trade a lot of weeklies, so we're doing pretty good this week. Probably $400 or $500 this week in option plays. And you can make $400 or $500 a week and then take that money you've earned and invested in some quality companies. You got to love that. that's kind of where we're at for these 612s. And remember, next week, short week, Juneteenth is June 19th. The market is closed next Friday. So all option strategies will end on Thursday, guys. So make sure you know that as we go into next week. I do have a lot of options ending next week. Couple in the money right now. We have the DraftKings that's run up considerably over the last week or so. And then I have a $17 put on SoFi. I probably will roll that. And we have tons of covered calls. $10, $19 calls, $11, $18 calls, and 5 $17.50s. So 26 covered call options will expire for us next week. And if we cash all of those out, we're going to net about $600 just in those SoFi options. We've got to love that. Take that money to the bank for sure. These are the positions I'm building out ALF right now. I think Comcast is a really good deal as well. Trading at that $23 to $24 range where it's been. It's kind of been a roller coaster ride over the last year. The high was $34.26, so we're getting a considerable discount right now. And the dividend yield is what, up over 5%, closing in on 6%. So if you want to sell some puts on Comcast, I might actually do that right now in that $23, $22 range. I don't know if I have enough leverage right now to do this, but we will try to sell some puts. We'll see what they're at. I'm going to say 2 weeks from now, the $23, it's not huge. Man, maybe we do the 23.50s. Let's do the 23.50s. That'll give us a little bit more. That'll be like $24. And then you can always roll them out if it gets down to that level. But I think 23.50, the share will have to go down $1 per share. So we're going to review this. Yeah, but I don't have enough option strategies stuff right now. So I got to wait until all these close out this week. And I'll do that next week. But guys, I think that's a great put. 23.50s for 2 weeks out for Comcast. I do love that. I think the dividend is nice right now at 5.5%. I think it's a solid dividend. And there's some upside too. $34.50, $10. You're talking about 40%, 35% upside from where we're at right now, just to get back where the 1 year highs were. So I think that's a good play there, in my opinion. I think that's a solid play for us in the market. Netflix, I'm building out as well. I have 50 shares currently. I think that is a great play there for us as well. I do love myself some Netflix. I think at $80 per share long term, it's going to be an absolute steal. I think it's going to be crazy steal long term. Now I'm starting to build out as well. I did sell some at $120 per share. I think I had like 25 shares. I did sell most of them. And I'm going to buy at or under $100 per share. Stone is up. We're up on that position. I am accumulating some of those shares as well. Palantir's just been kind of getting beat up and been selling off the last couple of weeks. So maybe selling some covered calls on Palantir. That 135, 140 range could make some sense because every contract we could make, $75 to $125 per contract. I'm also building out Celsius. I'm up to 120 shares. Probably want to get that to about, Adobe, Celsius, and Chewy. I like 3.5 to 5% on all of these. I want to get Comcast up to 1.5, 2.5% of the overall portfolio, and I do want to get SoFi under 30%. It is a major part of my portfolio. That and Palantir are my two biggest positions, taking up about 50% of the overall portfolio, guys. So there it is. I'm going to wrap it up today. Not a lot of people coming and hanging out. So check out my portfolio, check out my options plays, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.